political party.
Even after being governor for 8 years?
Yes, you can be governor for 8 years, minister for 20 years, and still, if you don't have experience in governance, you don't have. So when he governed in the 8 years, what we have always said, all you need to do is to look at the 8 years. The same way we looked at Lagos. Because it is easy for you to assume what Fashola did, it is Tinubu that did. What Ambode did, is Tinubu that did, because it is Lagos. You have to put a perspective to it. So in the 8 years he governed in Anambra, one fact that Anambrians have come to conclude, agree about, is that he did not focus on infrastructure. 2, he did not focus on the unity of the people. They say he rode on sentiment of Catholic as against the Anglicans, and that was bad. They said also he claimed to have saved money in a reserve for the state, but that in fact the bank where he saved the money from were banks to which he was a shareholder. That is corruption. And so they have on and on and on and on evidence to suggest. In fact, above all, his talking point is that we cannot continue to go as a country of consumption. We have to move from consumption to production. Everything about his life is the very opposite of that message. He has a department store in Nigeria. From the toothpick to the highest quality of item, he says that they are all imported. The only thing he produced in the country is beer, alcohol, which he continues to produce in Anambra and have young people get drunk without a proper perspective of the future that they had to follow. So Nigerians are looking at that, and this is where experience is lacking. But is he even making the efforts to unite Nigeria? He was asked on several occasions to denounce IPOB. He said he would never do that. He rolled out his campaign dates. He took out Mondays throughout the southeastern Nigeria. This would have been a statement for you to make that, look, I don't agree with the IPOB and this extremism. Since they say sit at home every day, I have to demonstrate I want to be the president of Nigeria. I'm going to hold rally on Monday. I'm going to lift up the flag of Nigeria on Monday, so they will understand that I'm running to become the president of Nigeria. But all of that fell on deaf ears. So when you put all of this together, and then the last thing about him is the myth, the irony that he is like a new phenomenon that emerged like a clap of thunder out of a blue sky. No, he's a regular politician like every other person. He's a kid in the block. He has been around. We have just assessed his 8 years, and after his 8 years, he had the opportunity to also serve in the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He was in the private sector. He even ran as vice presidential candidate with Atiku Abubakar in 2019. Even in 2023 bid, he was in PDP. He bought the form. He went through the screening. And it's because he saw that he could not win because of frustration that he moved to Labour Party. Otherwise, the conversation now will still be that he is with us, going all over the country advocating. And heck, let me tell you something. Apart from some of his misguided and miscalculated and misshot economic policies that do not, join, he is by very nature a capitalist. He is running on the platform of a political party that shares the very opposite. Remember, removal of fuel subsidy is what Labour and Labour Party fights to hell. And he wants to remove subsidy. So he's riding on a political party that before the plane takes off, there will be war. Let us come back to the formation of his campaign council. He released campaign council. You see duplicate names because he does not have the infrastructure. He still doesn't have the people. He produced 1,000 people, and you see one person's name appearing 3 times as a member of the same campaign council.
So long as he succeeds, that's not a problem of the PDP.
But how can then he succeed when right from, you see, a strong building is determined by the foundation, isn't it? If you want to take up a journey, it is how you begin that people can begin to look at it. So on the evidence of messaging, he's faulty. And that is why when he was going around all the media houses in the country, granting interview and the additional stats from China, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and Egypt, people began fact-checking him. Now he does not campaign on those facts and stats anymore. They now resort to influencing pollsters to give a fake. I use the word fake because when we ask the pollsters what is the sample, what is the margin of error and the sample size, they have not been able to give. You see, because the demographic of Nigeria cut across various places, there are Nigerians, smart, educated, corporate people, they are not on social media. So when we say not everybody is on social media, we are not referring to illiterate. There are demographics in this country. They do not subscribe to being in social media. They are educated. There are some non-educated. There are those who believe in social media and they are there. There are those who don't even know what social media is. There are those who have telephones, those who do not have telephone. When you understand the delicate nature of our demographics, your polling should cut across them. That's why polling is expensive. But what did the people who surrogate for him do? They go to the social media and poll from social media. So in other words, a fragment of the population of the country. Even then, they poll from the members, supporters of his political party and his movement. They poll from them. And so if you're polling from, for example, obedient or people who subscribe to his view, then certainly the outcome of the polling will be different. And this is not new. We've seen that in America. Polling companies act as surrogates to individuals. So we are not moved by the polling. In fact, the polling is a total departure from the reality on ground. Because when last have you seen him engage with Nigerians? Peter Obi engages with the very same people he said they destroyed Nigeria. When Atiku Abubakar engaged with the various group, Chamber of Commerce, the Nigerian business communities, the Nigerian farmers, involved with stakeholders, talking to the people that these things matter to them. Peter Obi is going to see General this, former president this, governor this one this, collecting money, collecting support, and the rest.
No, so you have no evidence that he's collecting it.
No, but even if he does not, he's meeting them. He needs support. Support can be financial, it can be in in cash, it can be in word. But what we're saying is, everything you're telling the world about the people who destroy Nigeria, you are going to the same people you say they destroy Nigeria and asking for their support. And we know that if these people that you're going to are the ones that make you president, they will dictate what you do. So you're riding on the youth. You say that you are standing as a movement for the young people. You have not engaged with the NANS. You have not, there is no group of young people, whether Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, Association of these young people in this youth, in this demographic. He has never engaged with any form of demographics of the youth that he claimed he's doing the movement for. He only needs them to be on the street. He needs them to be on social media fighting. But he goes to the oligarchs, if I have to use the word, or rather to say he goes to the big men to seek his endorsement. So that is the reason why people know that this idea of his agenda is not sustained by reality, is not sustained by principle, is not sustained by even the things that he said. So on economic, that he believes in production and not consumption, his life and business shows the very opposite. That he believes that people are stealing in the government, his administration in Anambra shows the very opposite. That he believes that those who destroy Nigeria, he will run a government that will be the very opposite. You cannot keep going to them to make you president and still be saying that you are going to change them. The one that you say you are going to unite Nigeria, you cannot, even within the precinct of your Christian religion, you even have the temerity of dividing along Catholic and Anglican. So when you become president, how will you behave to the Muslims?
Enough.